Hey there, thanks for joining me for Bible journaling. Today we're going to be working on day 109 in our Encourage a Moment to Breathe devotional. And we're going to be using this, the Paper Shelter digital image called Jogging with Rythm. And today I'm going to show you how to get the image into your Bible in case you do not have a light box. So what I've done there is I have a piece of carbon paper or tracing paper, and you want to put the black side down and then the dull side up. And I'm just going to trace over all the lines with my pencil. And I try to check after I do one or two lines to make sure it's actually on the right side of the paper, because I have put it on there backwards before. And then you're just going to trace over all the lines that you want to be on the image. Now, I don't necessarily put all of the lines on there, like all those streaks in her hair. I'm not going to add those. I'm going to just use those or put them in when I do my pencil coloring. And the laces on the shoe, we didn't put any of those in there because there are quite a few on there, so I just didn't trace them all on. Then after I get it all transferred on there, I'm going to use some kind of waterproof pen. I suggest the Illustrated Faith pens, the Micron pens, a Sharpie, something that's waterproof, or something that's going to stay on there if you're going to watercolor it. Otherwise it doesn't matter. But I know the Illustrated Faith one does not bleed through, and I couldn't get it to work, so I ended up using a Sharpie. So then I'm just going to trace over all of my lines to make them visible. You could just leave her with the carbon paper pencil lines on there and color her like that too. That would be super cool, or fine. But I just did it with my pen so that I could actually see the image or the lines pretty good. So that's what I'm doing here. I just wanted to give you a demonstration in case you did not have a light box that you could put the images in your Bible using this method. So after I get it completely traced, I'm going to go in and I'm going to color my girl with Prismacolor pencils. And I did put a list of those at the beginning of the video if you would like to go back and pause it and write down the colors that I used. I did include that at the very front, so you could write those down. So let's go ahead and read our verse today. We're working in Romans 6:6, and our verse says, "For we know that our old self was crucified with him, so the body ruled by sin might be rendered powerless, so that we may no longer be enslaved in sin." So my thought with the girl there is I'm going to use the title, "I Am Free," and she's jogging because she's free from sin. Christ died on the cross for her, and she's happy, and she's running away from all of that sin that she has given up. So that's my thought behind the image there today. So let's go ahead and read our story. So today's story says, "With a grumbling heart, I pulled into the parking lot, the heat of the day pressing down. My body is here to serve, while my heart is somewhere else altogether. An abandoned lot, ridden with weeds, is the project before me. For my discipleship class, we were given a service mission assignment to cultivate humanity. 1 full hour of pulling weeds. Just God, the weeds, the heat, and me. As I pulled one dead weed after another, it amazed me that although they were dead, they were everywhere with deep and stubborn roots. And even some that looked dead still had the greenness of life in the deepest part of their root, in a sort of dormant state. Amidst my grumbling, God pursued with a message for my heart straight from him. These dead weeds are just like our sin we've allowed to creep into the soil of our hearts. Our past can be ridden with remnants of weeds that even when they appear to be dead, upon further inspection, their roots still contain life. To really heal from past sin, we must go back to those ugly remnants and remove their stubborn roots, to excise them once and for all." As the hour ended, I looked back on the cleared stretch of soil, the result of my solo effort, and I was satisfied. The dirt was bare and even, boasting of its potential, a soil ready for something new that won't be disgraced or choked out by the ugliness of dead weeds. Driving away, I gave thanks, remembering that in spite of the wretchedness of my attitude, he met me in my service. I was changed. And then our moment to breathe at the bottom today says, "Examine the soil of your heart for any remnants of lingering sin. Ask the one who gives new life for forgiveness and freedom, because a forgiven heart is a heart that it can exhale." That's awesome. So I don't know about you, but I definitely have things in my past that come tumbling back, and they get in the way of me being happy or just pulling me down. So here, I'm going to take a little break here. So right here, I decided I was going to do some watercoloring on my page, so I'm just adding a coat of clear gesso on there. And that will seal in my girl, so if I get some on her, I can just wipe it right off actually. But I usually put 2 coats just to be safe, and nothing will bleed through to the other side. So anyway, our story today, I really like that about pulling weeds and how sometimes when you're pulling them, they seem like they're dead until you pull them out, and there's always that little bit at the end that there's still life. So that's definitely what sin is like. You may have forgotten about something, and then it'll just come tumbling back and remind you in all of its cold, dreadful awfulness. So you have to remember, Jesus is there for us, and we just have to talk with him, and he will help us along the way. So here I'm going to stamp I Am Free there on my page, and I'm using a couple of stamp sets. That one is from Sunshine Stamps, and I couldn't find it on their site, so I guess it's been retired, but it says I Am, and it has a bunch of cute sayings, so I'm sorry I could not find that, but it is a Sunshine Stamp. And then the alphabets I'm going to use are from Sweet and Sassy Stamps. It's called Skinny Caps Alpha. There's also a lowercase one in case you want to pick those up. And I did find those over on their site, so you can grab those up. They're down in the description box if you like that. So I'm going to go ahead and let you watch this for a little bit, and then I'll be back when I do some other stuff. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and use my Illustrated Faith watercolors, and I'm just going to ink smush some colors on my page, because for me this is just a little bit too quiet. I should have maybe painted her or colored her shirt and her earphones maybe hot pink or something. There's just not enough color for me. So I'm going to stamp or ink smush some orange, yellow, and hot pink ink all over my page. And then I'm going to follow that up with my Illustrated Faith Element stamp. I'm going to stamp some crosses and some little dots on my page just to decorate it up a little bit. And I'm going to use my Faber-Castell Pitt pens to trace onto or to color on the cross stamps, and then just smush them onto my page to make a few more decorations on there. So after I finish doing my stamping here, I'm going to go ahead and add my journaling, and it's going to say, Lord, thank you for setting me free. And then I always finish my page by adding the date on there, so later on when I come back to look through my Bible pages, I can see what day I was working on what and just kind of have a little remembrance for me. So I hope you had fun doing Bible journaling today. If you have a question, make sure and leave me a comment down below, and I will make sure to get back to you. If you want to pick anything up, if I could find it, I made sure to put it down in the description box. And you can also go over to my blog, which there's a link down in the description box, and check out this post. I will have everything linked at the bottom of the post there too, along with the story we read today and just a summing up of the page. So if you'd like a close-up, make sure to head over and do that. Otherwise, I hope you guys are having a fabulous day, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.